Here's something most headlines won't tell you. AI is already giving workers back 40 to 60 minutes every single day. Goldman Sachs tracked it. That's not a projection. That's happening right now, in companies running the tools.
And that's the real story of this moment. When you give people back an hour a day, you don't just make them more productive. You change what's possible. The teams figuring that out right now are pulling ahead fast.
Today, we're going to show you exactly where that's happening. New foundation models from Microsoft and Meta, humanoid robots stepping onto real factory lines, and what the policy landscape means for businesses building with AI. This is the wave becoming operational, and there's a clear path to being on the right side of it. Let's start with the contradiction. AI is already boosting productivity, but adoption is still low. Fortune cites Goldman's tracker, saying fewer than 19% of U.S. establishments are using AI right now, even though it's projected to rise. Meanwhile, OpenAI data cited there says enterprise users save 40 to 60 minutes a day.
That's the part I wish every executive understood. AI adoption isn't a keynote announcement. It's process change. If a 50-person team saves even 40 minutes per day, that's roughly 33 hours of work recovered daily, but only if the workflows and permissions are designed for it.
And now, the other shoe. Tom's Hardware says 78,000 tech workers were laid off from Jan 1 through early April, with 37,638, about 47.9%, attributed to AI and workflow automation. Even if some of that is AI washing, the market signal is clear. Companies believe the substitution is real.
Which means the best defense is capability. If you're a worker, become the person who can use AI to produce outcomes. If you're a manager, prove ROI in weeks, not quarters. Start with work that's measurable: customer support drafts, sales ops research, internal analytics, code review, anything with a clear before and after.
Here's the blunt takeaway. The AI gap is now a career gap. And if you're leading a business, it's a competitiveness gap.
Now zoom into the model layer. TechCrunch reports Microsoft released 3 foundational models: MAI Transcribe 1 for speech to text, MAI Voice 1 for audio generation, and MAI Image 2 for image generation. They're distributing them via Microsoft Foundry, basically saying, we're building our own catalog.
That's a strategic move. It's not anti-OpenAI. It's about leverage. If you control multiple options and pricing, you control your margins and your product roadmap.
Then CNBC has Meta with Muse Spark, not their best-in-the-world model, but a compact, fast one with different modes. Meta is also talking about API access and monetization, plus huge 2026 capex to build infrastructure.
So the theme is, big tech is becoming a multi-supplier of intelligence, not just a buyer. If you're an enterprise customer, that's good news. More competition, more price pressure, more modalities. But it also means you can't wait for a single winner. You'll be routing tasks across models.
Exactly. Practical guidance. Pick one primary model for general productivity, one for multimodal workflows, and one for strict governance needs. Then instrument cost, accuracy, and turnaround. Treat models like cloud instances, interchangeable, monitored, and negotiated.
This is where it gets real. Instrumental reports, Foxconn is deploying fewer than 10 humanoid robots in a Houston pilot, on a server production line assembling NVIDIA GB300 AI servers. Not a lab demo, a production line.
And they're starting with the boring stuff: part transfer, screw fastening, materials handling. That's the point. You don't need a robot to do backflips. You need it to do 10,000 identical manipulations with acceptable error rates.
Then, CGTN claims humanoid robots are working on assembly lines in Nanchang with an 18-second task cycle, around 300 units per hour, and above 98.5% success. Even if you discount the PR gloss, the direction is obvious. Embodied AI is moving into throughput and yield metrics.
For business leaders, the actionable question is, where can you standardize tasks enough for a robot to work? Factories are controlled environments. Warehouses are next. And then, eventually, anything with repetitive manipulation.
And notice the loop. AI builds the servers. Servers build better AI. Better AI trains the robots. Robots build more servers. That's the compounding curve.
Policy is catching up in a very specific way, not by banning AI broadly, but by policing claims and roles. Troutman Pepperlock highlights Maine's LD 2082 therapy or psychotherapy offerings, including via AI, must be provided by licensed professionals. Nebraska also signed a chatbot law, LB 525.
Translation: if your AI product smells like healthcare, counseling, finance advice, or employment decisions, you need guardrails, disclosures, and human oversight.
And in Europe, the EU AI Act timeline is the big countdown clock. Key provisions started in 2025, and the broad framework becomes much more enforceable on August 2026 per Artificial Intelligence Act.eu's timeline.
So the business move is build governance now, logging, incident response, model cards, training data documentation, because compliance always takes longer than you think.
Longevity quick hit. NAD.com summarizes a Helsinki preprint suggesting blood NAD+ might stay stable in healthy aging, but drops in disease, which could reshape who actually benefits from NAD+ boosting.
And another, Biospace Reports, Starkage, will present AACR posters on STX1, a DPP4 targeting ADC positioned as senolytic in tumors, a sign that senescence is turning into a therapeutic category, not just a research buzzword.
Bottom line, AI is transforming software, work, and now the physical world, while biology research keeps pushing the frontier of what health span could mean.
That's the breakdown for today. The stories are moving fast, but the playbook for staying ahead doesn't change.
If any of this hit close to home for your industry or your role, the newsletter goes deeper every week. Link in the description.
We're Marcus Reed and Sarah Chen. This is your AI future. Subscribe if you want to keep up, and we'll see you tomorrow.